which is a modification of the saber grip. And in this one, fingers are curled around the handle the same way you would with the saber grip, but the thumb is to the side of the handle. And pressure is exerted between the thumb and your first finger. So it's more like this, which really, I think, lends itself really nicely for cutting. Might not be as powerful for thrusting, but it's really good for cutting. Some people even use what he calls a foil grip for some things, which is
basically
with the thumb.
It's
here.
a thumb grip.
Yep. He says that this grip originated with the parrying daggers of the Renaissance. Some Bowie practitioners feel that this grip facilitates better application of the back cut technique. Yeah, his knife fighting system prior to World War II was based on old sword methods. So, but what he did is he recommended that this particular stance was really effective in delivering cuts to the hand and lateral shifting to avoid an attack. He saw the knife as being used somewhat like the Renaissance rapier, primarily with small slashes to the hand of an opponent followed by thrusts to the body and throat. He did not teach much on the use of the left hand, but felt it should be kept to the side or thrown back to improve balance. So this is what that stance looks like, in difference from saber. In this one, instead of the hand on the back, you have the hand to your side, like here. And the key elements: right leg is forward, left leg slightly behind, with the foot in approximately 45 degrees. Right arm is extended with a slight flex. Left arm to the side or extended to the rear. Posture is completely upright, legs flexed and bent, but not quite as deep as the saber stance. So rather than like here, maybe it's more like this. Not that different, but I think that one's a cool one to try. So when we're doing the, whatever drills we do, I would try that one as well. And then the last one, the book Cold Steel, which I guess was used a lot. It's a book called Cold Steel. Not the Cold Steel from Hutton. This was from like the 1940s or something. And he says it's a classic in modern knife fighting. I haven't read it, so I don't know, but we'll go with what the Colonel Macklemore said. So we'll see. If this guy's another Marine instructor, he considers it a classic. I'm going to let him have it. He says he called his stance the perfect guard position. In this stance, the feet are in a modified saber stance, achieved by stepping out 90 degrees to the left and rear of the lead foot, pointing towards the opponent. The lead foot is almost flat on the floor, with the rear one positioned slightly on the ball of the foot. One thing that sucks about this book, and I really like it, is that they give you the background here, and then the photo is on the next page. So it's kind of hard to do. That's what it looks like, though. So in this one, the right leg is forward facing the opponent. The left leg is out to the side about 90 degrees with the weight on the ball of the foot, so most of your weight is going to be on the front. Both arms are flexed and chambered against the body. That is the biggest difference between this and the other side. Instead, both of your arms are in and chambered and ready to strike out. It presents the largest edge surface to the opponent, and you can thrusts, cuts, etc. with equal dexterity from it. While this is more suited to the attack, he says the edge up presentation is more suited to defense, which would be edge up. And you don't even have to turn your hand up. You just actually, like that video I sent you, the thing of the guys fighting in the Western. I don't know if anybody watched it. It's not very super historically accurate, but the one bit that was is David Carradine actually fights like this because he's defense oriented in that particular barroom fight. So you can hold it like this and use this back strip here, which is very heavily reinforced, to do parries until you're ready to do a thrust or whatever. So again, you can shift just like we shift from ice pick to French grip in dagger. You can shift from this to this during a fight or however you prefer. What he wants you to do is turn your hips and throw your arm out, and that's what's going to provide the energy to make the thrust work. So here, and as this goes, you throw the arm back and throw your hips out. Here. So, and here's a nice showing you how to do the entire drill. But basically, here, and Jeff, to your question about should the blade go, because I think with this one in particular, the mechanics work good to keep it a little more horizontal than rather than doing the whole up. I think, you know, even just like that probably works. But again, there's no super rules with this, so do what's most comfortable for you. The opponent is running in on you. You step back with the right leg instead of the left one. And it says this is like a Spanish origin, which makes kind of sense. It's effective in avoiding an opponent who is attempting to cut, thrust, or grapple the legs. From a strong stance, the fighter leaps backward, landing and bending at the waist and simultaneously thrusting forward. So you can take a look at that. That's the only illustration, but it definitely seems kind of like you're coming at me, you know, it's like that. I haven't tried it yet with an opponent, try it again. I think it's that. You basically jump back, bend at the waist, and just stick your little. It's definitely a thrust. It says